Hey, how you doing? Yeah, can we get a 24 wings, please? We'll have 12 Buffalo City and 12 Big Bear. I was gonna say Bear Jew. Two Stellas, two Stellas, and two Diet Cokes, please. All right, yeah, thank you so much. No, that'd be all. All right, thanks.
The next stop is WonWay.
Stand clear the closing doors, please.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. This is WonWay Podcast, episode 43. My name is Henry with my guy Samir.
Yo,
How are you?
I'm very I feel weird recording on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so real quick, this week, so we have a whole cadence on how we record this podcast.
What is it? What's that word you just used?
Cadence.
A whole cadence?
Yeah, like a routine, like
All right, boy. All right, my man's coming in strong. Episode 43 with the big boy words. I see you. Cadence. I want to learn. This is a new word for me, honestly. Cadence. Definition.
No, take your time, take your time. Take your time.
Arithmetic sequence or flow of sounds in language. Can you spell that out for me, actually? Maybe I'm getting the wrong word down.
Cadence.
Yeah, I have that. I put that same thing. Anyways, okay, cadence. Very nice word. I like that. Word of the day, cadence. Order.
All right, so
Sequence.
yeah. So this week I've been working overnight. Samir has a whole fucking new renovation slash the kitchen's in the room, the bathroom's in the living room,
my God.
the living room's in the bedroom. There's a lot going on this week. So we are literally recording on Wednesday, mad late, but
Yeah.
like 7 o'clock. And all I personally want right now is some barbecue wings and a beer.
So
That's it.
So low key, we're gonna go get some kettle black wings at 8 o'clock. We have reservations for like 8 or 9 o'clock. I just changed it to 9 o'clock. So we're recording, and then we're just gonna go get some food and just catch a vibe since indoor dining is finally open. But yeah, what Henry meant was, so I've been renovating the crib, like just the kitchen area, like they're doing the tiles and stuff. So like everything from the kitchen that was once there moved to the living room, and everything from the living room moved to the bedroom, and the bedroom moved to the bathroom. So like everything is all over the place. So I didn't have time this week to record because there was so much shit going on. And the people that were like doing the job for us, they ended up taking longer than I anticipated. So they didn't finish till Tuesday night. And we usually record Monday night. So Tuesday night by Tuesday night, and then Henry had to work. So it was like we were beat either way. He was working overnight, so we couldn't even record at night. So here we are, recording on a day of release, which is not normal. So we do apologize for that. But what's the fucking word, man? What's the fucking vibes,
Indoor dining's now a thing back in New York, and
we got like 9%.
I'm like fucking 12.5% capacity,
Oh, dear.
two mask minimum requirement. I don't even know the rules, boy. There's too many rules with this shit now. But indoor dining, I'm excited to go eat, bro. Like I haven't been out to eat type shit. So that's literally what's on the agenda for tonight with the food, Vibby.
Yeah,
Facts.
We're gonna get some wings, a couple burgers.
And this guy, you see how we started? You see how Sim started the intro? I think me and Sim, I think I can speak for Sim. We do this a lot. So if we plan on like getting some good food, we'll literally repeat the order. Like we'll talk about how we'll order it. So literally the intro is like if we were to get BD at tacos, I'd be like, yo, Sim, we'll get some tacos, and then be like, yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna pull up and be like, how you doing? Yeah, let me get 4 tacos. And let me get like a small one of this right here, the little soup. Yeah, how much? Perfect. And a bottle of water. All right, thank you. $22.
And then
here.
we'll go like this. We'll be like, yeah, facts. Nah, matter of fact, I'm gonna do 2 tacos, 1 consomme. Yeah, facts. I'm hype. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then we like get there, and that's exactly what happens. So that's kind of what's happening right now. Like we get the same thing from Kettle Black every single time. We get 12 buffalo wings for me, 12 barbecue wings for Henry, and then we get 2 burgers with fries, and then usually 2 Stellas and 2 like sodas, and we just like the beers come first usually. We sip on the beer real quick, and then we just start eating, boy. And by like the halfway mark, we're fucking dying because we can't eat anymore.
Oh,
But tonight's good. We didn't eat all day. We just been chilling.
Yeah. So you wanna let's jump into. So we talk about usually. So when we get on these podcasts, we don't know what the hell we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. Today
So
I think
you wanna-
we have. I think I kind of
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. So before we start this conversation, I just want to have a quick disclaimer, or a quick like, fucking fuck. Like, all right. Pretty much what I'm saying is whatever
this
we're
is so
whatever
funny.
we're gonna,
It's so funny.
It's a lot. It's a lot because
I'll tell you why it's
happens.
funny.
We live in a very sensitive society now where you can't really voice your opinion on things or you'll get canceled or some stupid shit like that would happen. The point
How do you
is,
feel about that?
I think
Real
there's
quick.
levels to it. I think there's levels to it. Cancel culture. I think there's definitely levels to it. There's some
I
things that
I absolutely don't like it.
yeah, I know you don't like it, but I think there's some things that do need to be like chin checked. And that's very minimal for me. Like I would say no, you see, I don't have anything actually. I don't. Like, you couldn't name something. Like maybe if you were like to derogatorily call like someone of same sex orientation, maybe if you used a certain word for that I feel like is not cool. You know what I mean? You
Right,
don't say
I
that
agree.
word. You don't call someone that. It's not right. It's derogatory. Or calling someone. I'm not gonna say the R word. Fuck that. Calling someone a retard is derogatory. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
using the N word, that's derogatory. You're not supposed to use that. Like, there's certain words that I think should be eliminated from the vocabulary. But that's minimal for me. You know what I mean? That's about it.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm watching Family Guy and someone makes a gay joke, like I don't think it's that deep. You know what I'm saying? But
I
people
agree.
do. People do. That's the shit. So we're in a very sensitive time. And I don't want to use the word sensitive. I want to just use the word politically correct because sensitive has a negative connotation to it. But in my undergrad, I was a sociology major, and I was around this all the fucking time. Like, all the fucking time. Like, every fucking second. Everybody's like, hey, man. I'll be like, hey, guys, what's going on? There are women here? I'm like, oh, fuck me. I said guys, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Like, shit.
Oh, no way.
Hey, everybody. No, it's happened. 100% it's happened before.
This
and
is
I'll-
new to me.
Yeah,
so you
bro.
you were like, hey guys, and they said that?
I'm like, yo, what's the word, guys? Like, everybody good? Like, there's women here? And I'm just like, oh, sorry, ladies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, calm shit.
That's
like, it's a reach, but it's a reach.
That's a reach, bro.
It
That's a
is
reach for me.
But you got to remember, bro, like when you're in a certain, I don't know how to explain it, but like the sociology is a topic, is a major
Wow.
that
I'm
is a
I'm
very,
sorry. I'm just mind blown right now.
very proactive or progressive thinking. Now some people may not consider that progressive or proactive in any way. But let's jump into this idea. So what is feminism to you, Henry? Like, what's feminism to you? And
For
again,
me-
I'm sorry to cut you off. Like when I get into this, I'm just letting you guys know right now. If you take offense to anything we're saying, I would love to hear your opinion on it. I'd love to get feedback. Maybe you can teach me something. Maybe you can teach me a perspective that I'm not aware of. This is a learnable moment for all of us here, for me and Henry both, because these types of conversations don't have to be attack. They could be try to understand one another and communicate your thoughts, and maybe we'll be able to kind of come to a common ground. So if you do have any disagreements or you want to teach me something about what I may or may not say, go into the comments on the Instagram page, let us know, and I have no problem responding to it. But please, go ahead. So what's your topic on feminism? So I'm bringing up feminism first, obviously, because I saw something on Twitter the other day, and me and Henry were chopping it up on the phone about it. But go ahead.
All right, without getting making it complicated, what feminism is to me. For me, things like equal pay, for example, right? Things of that nature, equal pay, equal opportunity. Because I do believe men get paid more than women, and I do believe that men get more opportunities in general, right, than women. Things of that nature, I think, is what feminism stands for. Does that make sense? Like, things of that nature is what comes off as feminism to me.
So the
that's-
your idea of feminism is the idea that anything that basically any precedence that was set for males should be the same for women and vice versa. Correct? So not necessarily just pay or relative of money, but everything. So whether it's the pay or fucking man, here we go.
What else is there really? Because you're saying it like
representation, like representation, you know, that's big. Like there's like if you think about a CEO of a company, a lot of times it's a man, and that's something that they push for companies now is to try to get a woman CEO or a woman representative of the company. So I just don't want to make it a monetary thing where we're only discussing women and pay, because then it becomes very like it's only binary. Like this is the only thing is women and pay. Where there's obviously a much bigger spectrum to it.
I agree, and I couldn't think of. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't think of anything else outside of that. So that's why I kind of just said things of that nature. So if you know anything more,
so I think the idea of feminism is pretty much like it's like the advocacy of women's rights on like the equality of like gender or sexes or whatever. Basically, both sexes or genders. I'm not sure which word to use here. Is equal to one another. So male and female equal in all regards. Okay, so. What I'm bringing up is I think that feminism is taking away from what a man can do for a woman. And I think it's taking away the beauty of chivalry and the beauty of how a man and woman interact with each other. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So, example. When I was doing valet, a customer came out the restaurant and she had a bunch of bags in her hand. So I asked her, I was like, would you like me to grab your bags for you and I'll put them in the car for you? She's like, I'm a strong woman. I can do it. And like she said it very like, back up. I don't need your help. And it pissed me off more than you realize, because it was like, wow, you really don't understand my intention here. I'm asking you if you need help to carry a bag, not because I think I'm superior to you, but because it's the gentlemanly thing to do. You understand what I'm saying? And I reiterated that. So I was like, man, I hope you didn't take offense for me asking that. Like, I know you're capable of carrying it, but you seemed like you were struggling. There's a lot of bags in here, and I just wanted to help you, but no problem. Have a good night. I'll get the door for you.
Yeah.
And didn't say thank you, walked through the door and kept it moving. Now, I'm not going to say that represents all women, right? But I'm going to say is that mentality is deriving from this idea that women power and fuck men and we don't fucking we hate you, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think that's the representation I've seen a lot of as of lately, and it's fucking frustrating, bro. It's like annoying as fuck almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hold the door for a woman without being told like I can hold the door myself. Like, yo, baby,
yeah.
Like, calm shit. Like, I promise I'm not trying to like be a dick. Like, I just want to hold the door for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's the angle I took.
And I'm not saying every guy is out here like, oh, let me hold the door for a lady, right? I'm not saying that either. But that response of like, oh, I could hold these bags. Oh, I don't need you to hold the door for me. That mentality, right? That, what are we talking about? You know? And I'm going to say this real quick, right? I think Samir's laughing because with this conversation,
because
I'm pretty. No, it's okay. It's okay.
No,
because now if we're gonna get into it, I'm gonna go, and I'm not gonna wall out. We're gonna let this rock. Facts.
No. We are gonna let this rock. But I'm saying, like, I think Henry, he has good intentions, but the way he might convey a message is a little bit more of a dick.
That's fair.
You guys know Henry. You guys know him, right? If you keep up with this podcast, you know the type of guy Henry is. You know the type of guy I am. You know our personalities. He's more blunt than I am. I might sugarcoat something a little more than he does. So for him, it's like, this is all bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, he agrees that there's equality in women in many regards. But if you're gonna sit here and tell a man, don't hold these bags for me because I'm a woman, I can do it. I don't need a man to hold my bags. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? And pretty much that's the
yeah.
route,
So
correct?
so hear
You know
me
what
out.
I'm saying?
To your point, I agree 100%. To your point of like you did the bag thing, right? I had an experience where at my job, there's a visual piece of the store, right? You gotta carry like mannequins, right? And these mannequins aren't light. They're type heavy. And this girl, the mannequin was like 3 times her size, and you're not picking this mannequin up. You're just not. It's 3 times your size. It's really heavy. So I asked, I was like, hey, you look like, let me help you out with this. Oh, what are you saying? I can't do it? I was like, no, I'm not saying you can't, but like you're struggling. Like, you're clearly struggling. She's like, no, I got it. I'm a strong woman. Yeah. And me, boy, like this, say less. Carry that shit yourself then. You know? Let me know how that goes. Because you're not about to pull that card on me.
Yeah.
when you're just you literally cannot carry this thing. It's heavy. It could have been a boy your size. I would have said the same thing. He just can't carry this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And things like that, right? Situations like that is where I've personally, I'll speak for myself. I feel like, to your point of what the push for feminism was, kind of just like steer to something. I think that I want to say put a representation on it that's not accurate.
Yeah.
That's where I
think
go.
I think also while you were talking, I was thinking about this conversation as a whole, and I think it's important. And like what I'm about to say is like I feel like there's women out there that are listening are gonna low key pat me on the back for this one, where it's like men shouldn't be having this conversation about feminism. Period. Like this conversation that we're having right now may be like wait, why are two men talking about what feminism should look like? And I get it. Now I agree and I disagree as well. Because I agree that, there should be a representation of a woman on this podcast right now having this conversation so that we can hear the perspective of a woman. But I also disagree because I don't think we're incapable of, being understanding and trying to understand the paradigm of a woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I definitely think there's levels to it. The whole feminism topic. I forgot what we said right before this. What did I mention before this? How did this stem into this?
We started talking about shit.
No, I think it was just relevant to the idea of like me generally saying like there's some women who are listening to this that are probably saying like, yo, these dudes shouldn't even be having a conversation about what feminism should look like. But like Henry said, like the woman at his job, like she was struggling carrying something, and he went to go ask her, and she got all defensive and said, "I'm a woman, I can carry it." Can I
say something?
Yeah.
And I want you to genuinely tell me if I'm wrong for this. I almost sometimes feel like I get it. I get why two men sometimes shouldn't get into a conversation like this. But if someone were to tell me that, it's I would respect it. But it instantly I go like, I'm just shooting the shit right now with Samir. Like it's not like that deep. Like, we're just having a conversation.
No, but I know, no, 100%. Like it's not wrong to say that, but in terms of like growth or like understanding of the topic, there are people. You got to remember, fam. This is not our paradigm. We're not living feminism. We're not living whatever struggles or trials and tribulations that women go through. We don't live that, right? So we can't empathize with them in a way where sounds like them. You understand? We can't relate to them as a firsthand experience. We can only relate from what we know that they explain.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we'll never experience that. The same way you can never experience if you weren't sexually abused, you can never explain that. You can never explain what that is like unless you've been through it. You can try to empathize and try to understand, but you'll never truly get it until it happens to you or if it happens to you. You know what I mean? So I think the same thing happens with this conversation. I don't think they're sitting there like, oh, you guys shouldn't have this conversation, because we're not saying anything bad. We're not attacking feminism. We're just trying to understand the perspective of it and to the degree in which it's taken. Because Henry and I, we clearly both just said like the two things that pissed us off so far has been like, I've tried to hold the door open for a woman or help her with her bags, and she assumed that I was like, like I'm a strong woman, I could handle this. Or like her daughter even said it like, no, my mother's a strong, independent woman, she can handle this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if she's independent, dependent, codependent variables, boy. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to help her with her bags. You know what I'm saying? Like, and shit, I would do that for a dude. If I saw a dude struggling with some bags, bro, I would literally ask him, yo, dog, you need help with those bags? You know what I mean? You punk ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's one trip from the car to the house with the groceries, man. No matter what, I'll fucking amputate my pinky before I make 2 trips, boy.
Yeah.
That's the man in me, right? The male in me that they would attack. Right. But yeah. So the point is, we're not, attacking feminism as a whole, but we do feel that there are certain things of it that are a bit annoying to deal with. All right, there was another point I wanted to bring up, but did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, that was it. Because that was it. That was it.
Okay. Sexuality. Sex. What about it?
You see, this is where to Samir's point, I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty blunt with some controversial topics. Here, I just don't want to say the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
So when we say sexuality, we don't mean gay, straight, trans. We don't mean none of that.
Right.
We literally, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about when we say sexuality is how people express their sexuality and how people express their sexiness and their being. Okay. All right, ladies.
This was gonna happen. This was gonna happen moving forward with the conversation. I want you to just lead it, and I will chime in.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna fucking headline the shit out of this episode, talking about warning. I'm not a douchebag. warning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But, it's all good. It's
okay.
super calm shit.
I'm gonna say it bluntly. I think showing your ass and titties all day on social media is not a form of feminism in any way. I said it. Fuck up. What's up? You know what I mean? Fuck this podcast, man.
So here
Cancel
we go. Wait.
WonWay.
No. It's calm shit. So the rebuttal, right? What's the rebuttal to that?
No, because all right.
Play devil's advocate a little. Like what's
devil's
the rebuttal
advocate
to
is
that
it's
type
my
shit?
body. I could do whatever I want, and I'm not denying
Okay.
that. Same thing for men, right? Same thing for men. If you're
Yeah.
out here showing your dick on social media all day, I think you're a little bit like you're doing a little too much. Now, this is where my perspective comes from. I think as a society, we're over sexualizing everything. Like, I think everything is relative to sex now, and it's kind of annoying to deal with. Like, I can't go on social media without seeing something sex driven. And no, it's not the people you follow. It's the subliminals and the body language of everybody, and everything is very just driven by that. And I see it a lot more in women than I do in men, obviously. And I say obviously because men don't really flaunt that more like women do. And it annoys me because it's kind of like, that's not like, see, I'm trying to put the words together correctly. Like, for me personally, I see a lot of, whether it be the twerking on IG and like the fucking, taking a picture and like your nipples are hard as fuck and they're seeing through the shirt, and we know, like, your nipples are being seen through the shirt and you're not even doing it intentionally, but it looks intentional, but it's not. Like, that type of, I think there's certain things that it's like, yo, calm shit. Like, why are you doing so much? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard.
No, it's hard.
Like,
Hard.
So no. Not like that. But I'm saying, like, or like when shorties is at the beach and like they fucking take a pic and they're showing their ass, and I'm just like, yo, I get it. You have a nice ass, but like,
Here we go.
Not everything gotta be crazy sexualized. And I think the issue here relative to feminism, I think that they misconstrue that and make it seem like this is part of feminism. You know what I'm saying? Like, being able to express that. And for me, it's like, nah, that has nothing to do with that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're doing that for, at least from my perspective, the reasons you're doing that is for attention. It's for fucking whatever, for Instagram likes. It's for shit like that. Now, I could be wrong for many, but I know for some I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how many people sit here and tell me, no, that's not true. Women do this for this. I'm telling you that I guarantee you there's a portion of women that do it for whatever the reasons they have. And then there's a big portion of them that are just looking for attention, which, hey, more power to you. But I think it's a mistake to misconstrue that as feminism, as woman empowerment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think
you said it good. That was good.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think feminism is this idea of being able to just kind of like fucking shake your ass all day in front of a camera and call it feminism. That's not feminism. Feminism is standing for, the advocacy of women's rights. Do it. I'm not saying don't do it. Do it. But don't make it seem like that's the reason you're doing it. Oh, because women's rights. Bullshit. It's bullshit, because you could do that. Now, for the men that are sitting behind these phones and DMing every single woman that twerks on camera, you're part of the problem, because you make me having an opinion like this sound like a salty dude. But that's not what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just not what it is. I'm just looking at it like, damn, everything is super sexualized. Like, why is every single fucking thing about sex? Everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the society we live in right now. You know what I mean? I just think it's weird, man. I don't know. It's a little corny for me, bro. It just kind of taints, like, even dating for me. You know what I mean? Like
It taints a lot of things.
I just feel like it's just weird. It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't like certain things. I just don't fuck with. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm old fashioned. Like some people call it old fashioned. I don't personally think it's old fashioned, but I just think it's a little weird that like the nipple thing. I don't really care for. Right? It's whatever. It doesn't matter. But
it wasn't specifically the nipple thing you were talking about.
I'm talking as a whole. You know what I mean? As a whole. And like. Men obviously is different, men are different. We don't I don't see that. At least I don't see that. You know what I mean? I don't see that on my Instagram. I don't see that on my social media. What I see on my social media is a lot of women that are doing the same thing in terms of, flaunting their body and doing that. And I'm fine with that, but it's not relative to feminism. That doesn't have to do with feminism.
You know
what I mean?
Like I'm not for it. Like if you're doing that and if you get called out on it for whatever reason, and then you go ahead and say it's feminism.
Here's an example that'll help sum up everything is what I mean. Oh, this is perfect. This is the perfect. I'm so happy I thought of this because I know everything I said might come off wrong to some, and I'm open to clarifications if anything. I have a few female friends, not even friends, just female people on my IG that I've followed over the years. I've had this Instagram account for fucking 10 years almost. So for me, it's like it's just there. That'll post like this. Ready? They'll post a pic, not of themselves, of like a meme or like a GIF of like a woman and a man having sex, and they'll caption it "mood." Like it'll literally be a man and woman fucking in like cartoon form, or like a woman, giving head, or fucking a man like hitting a doggy, and then literally will caption it "mood," and it's like. I've seen people say like this is me expressing my sexuality or my this is me expressing my being. It's like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not expressing your being as a woman. That's literally the opposite. You're what are you like? What are we really doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it can be misconstrued again. People will say like, oh, well, who are you to say what a woman? Motherfucker, I'm not saying what anybody should be doing. I'm telling you what's my opinion on this shit. I think that shit's corny as fuck. I think it's corny. You know what I'm saying? The world doesn't have to know when you want to get digged down or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's just all weird, and I don't like tying it to feminism because it gives the wrong representation of what feminism truly is, based on definition and based on where feminism started. Feminism started on the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. If a woman's posting a shit like that and if a man's posting a shit like that, you're both wilding. I think it's overly sexual and it's just doing too much. You know what I mean? Like, it's just doing a lot. It's just doing a lot, bro. It's just doing a lot. Boy, I have one of my boys, son, he be going on Instagram and he posts his dick print mad times on his story.
Yeah.
And it's like, I DM'd him. I'm like, yo, boy, what are you doing, son? Like, what are you really doing right now, dog? And he's like, ha, 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 Sim, you stupid, bro. And I'm just like, nah, boy, I don't know, son. Like, what are you really doing right now, dog? Man's out here doing jumping jacks on the Instagram post so shorties can see his dick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, boy, like, calm shit, son. Like what? Maybe it's me, bro. Maybe it's me.
No,
Maybe
it's
I'm
not. You know
wilding.
what I'm learning as you're speaking? Like, you know this, right, about me. I think you do. Like, man, if we start having, since we started this podcast, if we ever start talking, and I just feel like how can I say this? I don't want to say I'm losing interest, but it's almost like
you know what it is already.
Yeah, like even talking about it just gets me a little like riled up for so many reasons. And I've had this conversation plenty of times with you. It's just to the point where it's like I almost don't even feel like explaining it to anybody or trying to give, like, yeah, we're shooting the shit, but even just speaking my point of view on it gets to the point where, to me, I've had this conversation so much, it's just like,
would you say
this
you
is
agree
just
with
what
I
it
said?
is.
Is there anything you disagree with?
No, I agree with almost everything you said, and I can already see like any more the rebuttals that you would get, if any. But that's a conversation I think me or you would be glad, we would gladly have with anybody. But I think what for me it's just like, how long we've been seeing like shit like this on both sides, from both ends, right? From men and women on social media.
Yeah.
How long? Like forever.
Forever,
right?
Yeah.
Forever. So it's just what it is right now. And
Yeah,
it's either
fuck.
to me, for me, it's either, first of all, it's gonna just continue, right? It's gonna probably get worse. We're gonna see like more soft porn on social media. It's just what I like to consider it, right? I think.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, I just
No,
don't
I
lose
think
train of thought.
yeah, I think that's just the case right now. And as time goes on, it's just what it is. I think you either understand it or you don't. And it stems from a lot of things. For me, like personally, like I don't need validation from anybody, right? I think everyone could say I look ugly, and I will say that's your opinion and keep it pushing, right? I won't really be affected by it, to where, not everyone moves like that. So with that being said, things like that go on social media that are sexualized, I think a lot of people do it to have that feel good validation feeling. This is just one reason of it, right? So it's just a lot. It's just a lot for me to talk about, and I think every individual is different, but it stems a lot from feeling good, being recognized,
It goes deep
being
because
validated, like so much shit, and it could get, like you said, it could get a deep conversation, and it's one that I almost feel like it's either I'm talking to a wall or I'm talking to someone who's gonna understand it.
But that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. So, two people don't have to come to an agreement to understand one. I mean, to agree with one another. They can, agree to disagree. And, like he just said, fuck. I just lost my train of thought, boy. I feel like I'm getting old, son. What the fuck, man? I just be forgetting.
yo, no, I'm laughing
My man
because
just said it like half a second ago.
Because it's on some like old shit, like
Yeah, OD, son. No, hold on. G-shit. Oh, the validation shit. The validation shit. I think that's deep, but there's a lot of people that rebuttal that and say, well, what's wrong with searching for validation from others? Now, I'm going to tell you what the fuck is wrong with that. What a therapist will tell you, actually, a psychiatrist will tell you. Seeking for validation from other people will only end you up in the fucking same place that you started off in. Because once that runs out, you're lost again. And then you're constantly seeking for that next form of the validation. So if you try to if you try to sit here and say that it's okay to fucking seek validation through social media and through people, you're wrong. Scientifically, you're wrong. And that's a fact. I'm not debating that. That's a fact. So like Henry just mentioned, a lot of people, men and women, go on social media and post the things they post for the form of validation. The more likes, the more good you feel. It's just what it is, right? We know this. This is our generation. This is what we're doing. But to tie it to the whole feminism thing, I think with women in specific, it's over-sexualizing the shit out of everything. And it's kind of just corny at this point. And the same thing for fellas too. Like, you're part of the problem too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we both play our part in this. Women, I don't, I want to reiterate what I said. This is not I'm not like sitting here talking about don't do this, don't do that. That's not the case. I'm just trying to understand, how do we relate, twerking and fucking showing a picture of, giving fucking head, talking about mood. How does that equate to feminism? I don't know. But I guess a woman would say to me like, well, because it's my body, I could do what I want. And I'm not disagreeing. I agree. You can do what you want. And I'm going to tell you that I think it's over sexualizing the shit out of yourself for no reason. Like, not everything's about sex in a way.
like
I don't know.
You could do that. You could do all that. And then when you tell me it's feminism, like, and the reaction I give you is what it is, like, don't get upset. Like, don't act like I'm wrong here.
Establish the political. Okay, so I just searched up the definition of feminism. So there's two here. Feminism is a range of social movements, political movements, and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes. The advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. Women's liberation. Now, based on that definition, women's liberation, if this promotes that, then great. I swear I'm trying to find the silver lining here, where I understand how sexualizing everything equates to women's liberation. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard for me to do that. Nah, it might be GG for that. I really can't. I just can't.
It's GG. It's GG for me. It's 100% GG for me.
So I don't know. It's tough for me to really, take a stance and say that over sexualizing everything is a form of feminism. I'm trying to better understand it. I've been trying to navigate it and really learn about it No, I'm lying. I'm not trying to learn about it, but like, you know, like if the conversation comes up, I'm open to discussion and to try to understand it. I just think over sexualizing the shit out of yourself is not a form of empowerment. And if it is for you, great. But I just think it goes back to the same issue. What I hear a lot, from some of my female friends that are super proactive in the community of feminism, is like, men sexualize women all the time. So it's a problem. And that I agree with. I 100% wholeheartedly agree that that is a problem. Men do sexualize women way too much. They objectify them and it's not right. But then when women do it to themselves, isn't that also a problem? But the perspective will be, well, that's us taking ownership of our body. And I agree with that. That's right. But when does it, like, when do you chill? Like, when is it just like you're human and you're just living, you know, like, or does every Instagram post involve you twerking on social media every chance you get? Or does every Instagram post involve you laying down on your bed, taking a selfie and making sure that your ass is in the picture? You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when does that stop? And
No,
does it stop? Is it feminism? Is it not feminism? Is that part of the feminist movement? Is it not? You know what I mean? I don't know.
You know what it starts to feel like sometimes? Like all those type of thirst traps, right? As they get posted and more
thirst traps, perfect. But there's levels to it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I follow a bunch of people on IG, and there are a bunch of women that, you know, they can post their little thirst trap every now and then. It's calm shit. You do whatever the fuck you want. But I have some women that I follow that literally, bro, every single chance they get, it's either twerking. It's either, hey, look at my nipples that they're pierced. It's either, hey, look at my ass. It's either, hey, look at my mood, where there's a picture of a woman getting fucked or a man fucking a girl or female, whatever, like, of sex happening, talking about mood. Yeah. Like, I just think that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's not, I don't see how does that mean feminism? How does that mean feminism? You know what I mean? Like that, I just it starts
to come off for me, at least, like as I used to, like, I see all this shit. Like the feminism thing was just used as an excuse. Like, it was like, if some guy or anybody has to call me out on my shit, on my posts, my soft porn, my thirst traps, I'm just go to the feminism card.
What do you
think
about
about
OnlyFans?
It feels like sometimes.
What do you think about
OnlyFans? I'm not for it at all. I don't like OnlyFans.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you make money. Honestly, if you make a lot of money off it, which I know a lot of girls do, yo, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna ask me what I feel about OnlyFans, I'm not for it. I don't support it. Do your thing, make your money. I'm just not a fan of it.
So what's wrong with strip clubs?
I'm not a fan of strip clubs.
Okay.
I've been to one strip club and I fucking hated it. Granted, it was some rinky-dink shit in New Jersey, but the idea of I have all this naked, I have all these naked women in front of me, and, you know, I personally didn't throw money, but I was just kind of looking at the scene. It's my first time, so, you know, people throwing money, and I'm like, sheesh, like, this ain't it. Like, first of all, I'm spending my bread, like, for what? Like, no, literally, like, what am I spending my bread on? What are we doing, right? And then, you know, all these naked women, and it just didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm not a fan of strip clubs. I just don't like it.
You know what's crazy, bro? Like, you know, as we continue this conversation about, like, you know, just, I feel like this conversation directly, related to women. But when Henry says, like, it didn't sit right with him, or, like, what are we really doing here? I think Henry and I are on a different kind of journey with our lives right now. And it doesn't involve, you know, growing up. Okay, let me rephrase this. Growing up, it was really like, yeah, nah, bro, like, let's go chill with some shorties, and, like, yeah, I caught a baddie, bro. Like, she looked good, son. Yeah, we fucked, bro. I killed, bro. Like, I killed. Like, yeah, like, that was the way we grew up. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what we knew. You know, we grew up in an environment that's what was dictated. Your worth as a man was based on the number of women you slept with, and how much money you made. Like, oh yeah, nah, he gets women. Like, obviously the derogatory term, he gets mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not So that's not really where our heads are at in life now. I think it's transitioned out of it, which is pretty cool actually. Where I could potentially see a woman as a friend first, which is something I could not have said before. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't believe in having women friends. Like, it just didn't make sense. Like, if you were cute, I was trying to get with you. If you were not cute, it was like, hey, you're a friend, but I'm not trying to get with you. So eventually we just stopped talking. Like, weird shit. You know what I mean? Like, I have a few women friends, but it was very minimal. Where now it's like calm shit. And I guess that's a form of growth within ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of how we deal with women. So something like the strip club for us, it doesn't. We're not here like, yeah, let's go to the strip club, son. Let's throw some dollars. Like, that's just not a Vibby for us anymore. You know what I mean?
Never was, at least for me.
Yeah, it's fun. No, it definitely was for me. I used to enjoy it. It was fun. You know what I mean? Like, that was the Vibby. Go get drunk, see women dancing. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough, man. It's tough because, like, I'm not. It's so crazy. This kinds of conversation, man. They really can go down a rabbit hole.
You ever think like, we go to a strip club right now. I'm like numb to it.
On some
like,
what shit?
Like, this shit is so like regular. Like, I'm just numb to this. Like, I don't get excited for the strip club. Like, I just wouldn't get excited for it. Like,
yeah. I mean, it depends though. It depends. Like, if obviously if a woman is, you know, dancing on you or something, you might feel a little, you might get obviously into it, but like the idea of going to a strip club isn't enticing anymore for me. Like, it's just not. Like, I don't want to spend my money on that. And to be honest, like, throwing money at a woman doesn't feel right for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like degrading, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, it doesn't sit right. And some women might be like, well, it's not degrading. This, and it just goes back to this idea of feminism again. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I think throwing women at a strip club is degrading. To for me to do it. I'm not saying you might feel it. I'm saying I feel it. Like, I'm not trying to throw women money at you like you're a piece of meat. I'm trying to look at you and chop it up with you, maybe, if anything, like on a different type of note. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my scene.
Yeah. I think honestly, as dudes get older, I guess, it's just we're just different. Everyone's journey is different. I was gonna say, as dudes get older, you know, you kind of build a foundation on a lot of things in your life, right? Your women, your morals, the way you move with people, the people you hang out with. You start building a foundation, even if you don't know it. And I would say, like, everybody that grows up eventually builds that. That's not true though. It's not, right? So what I was gonna say is irrelevant. It's irrelevant because not everyone does that.
You know,
I was gonna say our foundation is just, we have a pretty firm foundation on a lot of things, and like the strip club is an example of where, like, it just doesn't align with what we not stand for, but like what our foundation is, bro. So it's just,
and it's crazy because it's not even just about the women too, it's about the men as well. Like,
yeah,
you won't ever see me and Henry in a strip club. Like, you just won't see it anymore. Like, it just doesn't happen anymore. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, Henry never went. Henry went with me one time, and I used to go with my other friends. But like, right now, if you invited me to a strip club, the answer would be no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even traveling, even when it comes to traveling, when you think about when I used to travel before COVID, fucking COVID sucks so much dick, boy. It's so sick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Talking about when I used to travel, boy. We were supposed to be in Africa this year, boy. Fucking roaming around with the tigers, you know what I mean? Like,
we had to reserve a spot 4 hours before we go to make sure they freaking put 5 masks on and the whole nine. It's crazy.
OD. But my point is, even with traveling, like, I know our first trip to Mexico is where we went. It was all about partying and getting with females.
I wish we could see, like, I wish you guys could see
the growth, the transition. Yeah, it's insane. And then the next trip was DR, and it's like, both of those trips, the drive to go out there was, get brolic in the gym and go mack it to every shorty you see out there that's cute and just rock out and have a good time. And that's really what it was, though. We'd go to these resorts and we would feel good because we just spent 6 months prior going to the gym every day just to get there and now be full mode of get with as many girls as you possibly can. You know what I mean?
And let me just stress something, like, there's nothing, like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not, like, we were young, and you guys, you know, there's young people, and even people now like to still do it, having that agenda. Have fun, bro, have fun. But I'll speak for both of us. You know, we're just at a place where, man, I can't even explain it. How to, yeah, it's just not it's the move anymore.
It ties into just this idea of, you know, like something. There's a topic of sexual transmutation, sexual energy. You know, having multiple sex partners is not good for your aura. It's not good for your energy. You're literally depleting your energy as a man and giving it to every single female you sleep with, rather than preserving it and spending that energy with the right person that's right for your body, your mind, your soul, the whole nine. Now, a lot of people, this conversation is going to go in one ear, out the other. But there are a lot of people that are listening that are going to be like, yo, this is some deep shit. And they'll understand what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I personally will not sleep with a random woman anymore. Like, I just won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's even hard for me to want to go sleep with any woman right now, because that's how much I'm preserving my energy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say something I usually wouldn't share, right? But, like, I think about it here and there whenever me and Samir just talk about whatever. Like, that sexual connection, right? That sexual connection. Imagine having that for the first time with your wife, right? Let's use your wife as again. Imagine having that sexual connection, transmitting that sexual energy with one person who's you're going to spend the rest of your life with. I can't explain it, but the idea of it sounds very on top of the world, like elite, you know, and just different. And on, you know, me and you, we're all human. You know, you grow up, shit, like, bro, we having fun. You know what I'm saying? We're not thinking about the shit I just said right now, right? But at the time, you don't think like that, right? You just kind of just do your thing and have fun. Now that I'm older, it would be interesting to see how that experience would turn out, because that's something so pure, and there's not a lot of things that are pure in life, you know what I'm saying? That's something so pure and unique. It has to be an elite feeling, like an elite Vibby. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something, like, I'm not saying I wish I could go back and not sleep with anybody, you know, because everything happens for a reason, and I'd be playing myself if I go back 18, 19 talking about I'm not going to sleep with anybody. That just wasn't the move. But it'd be something, you know, if I could go back and tell myself, like, yo, maybe hold off on sleeping with anybody till you meet that person. Yeah. It's something I wouldn't mind giving a shot at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'd be successful at it, because life happens, but that's something so pure not everyone experiences. And those that do, I mean, I would actually like to speak to somebody that has done something like that and just kind of hear them out, because that's, in my opinion, that's got to be like an elite type of energy, like a different type of wavelength that, to keep it real, we will never experience. You know what I'm saying? We just won't. Now,
we already, you know, obviously,
right? Because we already did our thing, but you know, practicing, let's just say, abstinence from now to then. I'm not saying you could experience it, but I guess you could kind of practice it to, like, where you get some sort of, all right, let me see how pure this is. But yeah, that's just something I've talked to you about, and I'll just share it. But that's just something I wouldn't want to go back and say, yo, hold off till you're married, but it's something I won't ever get to experience. You know what I'm saying? It's something you won't ever get to experience.
And you know, you mentioned something. You said wavelength and energy and aura. Those are all words that get thrown around crazy right now. Like, all you ever hear is, protect your aura, protect your vibe, protect your energy. Don't throw that word around unless you understand it. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking throw those things around and think that it's just like protect your vibes, bro, because you don't like your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's deep. It's very deep. So the things you consume, you know, pornography and obviously sex with multiple partners, the shit taints you in a way. It does. It definitely does. And I don't care if it's from a religious standpoint.
100%
I don't care if it's from. I don't care if it's from a religious standpoint. I don't care if it's from a spiritual standpoint. I don't care if it's from any type of standpoint that you want to look at it from. Whether it's through your religion, through culture, through whatever the fuck it is, through science, there's a Vibby and there's a reason for it. I'm gonna speak for men on this one. When a man watches porn and beats off and he finishes, what's the first thing he feels? 90% of the time.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you, yeah.
You feel like a fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Disgusting. The word I was thinking was disgusting. You feel disgusted. Yeah. Why is that? You understand? Like, there are reasons for this. There's not just made up. These feelings aren't fake. their real feelings.
Yeah.
The same way, you know, people always say like, you know, you have some crazy sex and then afterward you got to question yourself because it's like, yo, we just wilded out. Like these are all real things, right? They're all real things. You become a different person when you're sexually driven. Now imagine preserving that energy and manifesting it into other things that can potentially help you grow. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
And also just this idea of the whole multiple partners and how it affects you. When you sleep with somebody, you're literally exchanging energies and you're exchanging intimacy and you're exchanging each other's souls in a way. You don't know who this person's been with. You don't know the type of people she slept with. So let's say I'm sleeping with a woman who just slept with 3 men and I slept with 3 women. Literally, that's 6 people now. 6 or 7 or 8. I'm sorry. The 3 from me, the 3 from her, and then the 2 of us. That's 8 people that are literally connecting through the soul, through the aura, through the Vibby. And that's how it just goes crazy again. The aura gets tainted, everything goes crazy, and everything starts getting mixed up and all craziness. And I relate this back to this whole over-sexualized society that we're in right now. I really, truly feel that every single fucking thing is based on sex. That's it. That's just what the Vibby is. And it's crazy because some people understand the conversation and some people won't.
I was just gonna say this goes back to why I can't have conversations with. I don't like talking to people, right? Because I just feel like there's a lot of things we talk about that I just have no interest in. A conversation like this, right? I can't have with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't. So that's why you would say, to your point, you would say like some people are gonna hear this and be like, the fuck? You know what I mean? Which is
crazy.
fine.
It's crazy because like some kid that I was doing valet with, he's wifed up and shit. He says some shit like, yeah, I'm gonna go here, like on vacation. He's like, I'm gonna go to this spot on vacation, bro, and there's mad females, like there's mad girls there. I'm gonna try to get with all of them. And there was another kid with him, and he's like, nah, bro, don't you got a girlfriend? And he's like, nah, fuck all that, man. And I looked at him, and he didn't even look like he wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't even look like he wanted to say, I'm gonna get with mad girls. He looked like he wasn't about that life. He looked like he was in love with his woman. He looked like he was faithful to his woman. He looked like the type of kid that wants to just go home, lay down with his girl, watch a movie, eat some food, and keep it moving. Like you didn't seem like he was about that life. So I remember like the other kid walked away that like kind of told him that, and like about his girl, like, yo, don't you got a girl? And I asked him, I was like, yo, boy, you do realize that there's no shame in wanting to not cheat on your girl, right? You know what I mean? Like that, you do realize, right, that there's no like, you ain't a pussy because you don't want to cheat on your girl.
Yeah,
like,
that's where I think it stems from too. Is like you go out and say like, oh, I'm gonna go sleep with all these girls. You feeling like a man now. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point.
Like literally, like you're not a pussy. You're not, you know, like growing up, men, you know, in Brooklyn, specifically in New York, it was always like, yo, you gay as fuck, son. That's obviously, you know, immature to think of right now. You know, obviously it's not about, that's like, wow, if you're still thinking you're gay as fuck because you don't want to sleep with every woman, then my man, you have a lot of growing up to do. But for the young blood, he was 18 years old. You know what I mean? So I told him, I said, yo, bro, you're not a pussy if you don't want to cheat on your girl. Like, trust me. Like, I'm a grown ass man, bro. And if I was wifed up right now, I would not cheat on my woman. It's just not the right, it's actually more manly to be faithful to your woman. You know what I'm saying? And he looked at me like I had 8 heads.
How old was the kid?
Like 17, 18.
Boy, 17, 18. Imagine telling yourself that at 17, 18. You gonna look at yourself?
Man, and the crazy thing is, bro, I tell my students the same shit. Like, yo, there's nothing wrong with being faithful, y'all. Love is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think like, don't fucking listen to everything you see on social media.
Yeah.
Like, not everything gotta be about fucking as much as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here talking about, fucking be a virgin till you're fucking 60 because you want to find, like, do whatever the fuck you want, but just change the way we look at this shit. Like, it doesn't make you a pussy if you cheat on your girl. It doesn't make you a loser if you don't want to have sex with fucking 50 women before you're 25. You know what I mean? Like, it just don't.
You know what's crazy though? You see what you told this kid? Like, I'm thinking about it right now. Growing up, like through my teens and young 20s and shit. Not one person has had that convo with me.
Not one fucking man has had that convo.
Not one.
Shit. If anything, I got men in my life right now that I know just off of like, you know, on some like, you know, whether it be this person, that's still in their 40s, 50s. Yo, boy, you got to get them, bro. Get them while you can, man, while your dick can still get up, man. And I'm just like, yo, boy, like, you're like 50, son, and you're single. Go figure. You're 50 and you're
man.
divorced twice. Go figure something's missing.
It's a little cringy, son. And
You
you know
understand
what?
what I'm saying?
What does that? What does that mean, Sim? Is it like? In my opinion, it's like, yo, men do a bad job. Men do a bad job at trying to put
setting
on
an example.
Yeah, setting an example and put on these gems to these younger men, that are gonna grow up. That's the problem. Like I told you, bro, I haven't had growing up. Not one dude said like, yo, if you don't have mad bodies, like that's okay. Like that don't mean you less than a man. Because for me growing up, it was like, yo, if my having a higher body count was like you the fucking man.
No, it's literally like, I'm going to use the line that was raised on me. Like, literally, like, verbatim. Literally, it's disgusting even saying it. It's like, I get more bitches than you. That's the line. That's the line.
You heard that? You heard? Oh, my.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me.
That's all you heard.
Hold on. If you're listening to this podcast, I apologize for using the word bitches, right? But I'm just trying to have you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. The line that's used for 98% of young men growing up, in like an argument or in like a
argument,
in like
circle,
a alpha conversation, in like an
anything.
alpha conversation. You know how like two tigers when there are two lions when they're in the forest and they fucking start beefing, like they start batting each other's heads and start fucking beating the shit out of each other. This is the form of doing it in our world with men. I get more bitches than you. That's literally the line that we were raised on. Like young mentality, young kid mentality. Obviously as grown men, you still see men that do it and you kind of laugh at them, but then you see a lot of men that just don't even know what it is and still use that as a term, they still use that as a form of success in their life. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I get more women than you. It's a lie. It's a bull-faced lie. It's a bull-faced lie, and it goes back to this idea of just over-sexualizing the shit out of everything, and I don't think that's how it should be, and I don't like the direction we're going as a society. I think everything is sexualized as fuck for no reason, and it's just weird, man, and that's, this all ties together with the whole topic of feminism with women as well. Like, you don't have to twerk all day on Instagram to get validated for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't gotta do that. You don't gotta... You could, if you want to, right? To support this idea of empowerment, you could do it. Do whatever the fuck you want. But just remember, like, there are fellas out there that may or may... you see, if I even try to say there are fellas out there that don't like that, they're going to... Right away, here's the response. Ready? I'm not doing it for you. And it's like, yo, baby, I didn't mean that.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. It's really okay. For me, it's okay. It is
crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy, son. It's crazy. I'm
okay.
looking forward to a few women that I know to listen to this episode. 100%. Lopez, Riza. I'm listening to a few. I'm looking forward for a few that I listen to this because I want to hear their perspective on this. Lopez specifically because I know this is one girl I went to college with. She's super knowledgeable on this topic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and she takes a stand for that shit, and she's here. Like, she understands what the fuck she's talking about. So I'm actually going to DM her after this episode and ask her to make sure she listens to the tonight episode just so I could hear her opinion. Because I know she's going to hit me up on some, you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're that. And I'm going to just laugh because she knows it's all love. She gets me, though. She understands that, like, I'm not, like, that's not the Vibby for me. Like, I'm not out here saying, like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, I just have a hard time explaining it. And I'm trying to build that bridge of women empowerment and over-sexualizing the shit out of everything. You know what I'm saying? For women and men. Men have been doing that for years, and I obviously practice what I preach by not trying to over-sexualize everything in my life. I cannot wait to eat wings.
No. It's like
burger.
It's like this.
And a Stella. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't.
I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
I can't wait for it.
This is going to be the best feeling in the world, these wings. WonWay Podcast, at WonWay Podcast, episode 40. What is it, 3?
Episode, I love men and women, and I wish everybody takes this conversation the right way and not the wrong way.
And then, yo, I'll say this real quick. For someone like myself who doesn't like to necessarily have conversations with people, if you want to have a deeper conversation around this topic and just anything we say, I'd be more than happy to have that conversation. Like, I'll engage in that.
He's fronting OD. If you reach out to Henry and try to have this conversation with him, he's gonna dump this.
At WonWay Podcast, episode 43. Follow us at WonWay Podcast. Best loadout right now, AMAX Mac 10. Easy. AMAX Mac 10.
Ooh, Warzone, baby boy. It's crazy, son. Yo, episode 43. I love y'all all. Thank you. Peace.